I never thought a single sentence could change how I saw my marriage, but it did. The text arrived on a Tuesday afternoon while I was reviewing invoices at my desk, just having coffee with a friend. That was it. No name, no context, no warmth. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. I'm Rowan Hale, 43, married 12 years to Maribel. I'm not the jealous type. I believe trust is built, not policed. But something about that message felt rehearsed, like a line delivered too smoothly to be innocent. Maribel used to overshare. Early on, she'd send photos of her latte foam, complain about traffic, tell me which barista remembered her name. Lately, details vanished. Conversations shortened. Smiles became scheduled. I told myself it was work stress. She'd said the firm was chaotic, new management, late meetings. I adapted like men do. I cooked more, asked fewer questions, tried to be steady. That afternoon, a memory surfaced uninvited. 2 weeks earlier, I'd seen unfamiliar notifications flash across her phone when she thought I was asleep. I didn't read them. I didn't confront her. I swallowed the feeling and called it maturity. But maturity shouldn't feel like erasing yourself to keep the peace. I replied without drama. Enjoy. Then I put the phone down and finished my work. Or I tried to. Numbers blurred. A quiet clarity settled in. If she could be vague, I could be precise. I opened the cloud account we both used for photos, the one we'd shared since our first holiday in Cornwall. I hadn't checked it in months. There they were. Recent uploads. Not coffee cups. Not sunsets. Maribel in a dress she bought last winter, the one she said felt too bold to wear out. A man's hand on the table. Reflections in glass. Angles chosen carefully. Intimate without being explicit. Enough to tell a story if you knew how to read it. I didn't feel rage. I felt confirmed. I waited. An hour passed. Then another message arrived. Running late. Still no name. That's when I typed it. Ask him how his wife likes the photos. I didn't add punctuation. I didn't explain. I sent it and set the phone face down. Silence stretched. 10 minutes. 20. My chest stayed calm. When the phone finally buzzed, it wasn't anger I read. It was panic dressed as confusion. What are you talking about? I didn't respond. I stood, packed my laptop, and drove home. The house felt neutral, like it was waiting to see who I'd be. I poured a glass of water and sat at the table we'd refinished together years ago. I thought about how often I'd ignored small discomforts to preserve a version of us that no longer existed. The door opened just after 7. Maribel looked smaller when she realized I wasn't rushing to fill the space. She started explaining before I asked. It was nothing. A colleague. Harmless. My voice stayed even. I asked one question. Is his name Calder? She froze. That was answer enough. I didn't accuse. I didn't raise my voice. I told her I'd seen the photos. I told her I wouldn't compete with secrecy. She said she felt lonely. I said loneliness isn't cured by lies. She said it was only coffee. I said intimacy starts long before skin touches skin. She cried then. Real tears, or maybe relief at being seen. I listened without rescuing her from the consequences. I explained my boundary clearly. Transparency or separation. Not as a threat, as a fact. She asked for time. I said time without honesty is just delay. That night, I slept in the guest room. Not to punish her, to hear myself think. In the quiet, I recognized a pattern. I'd been adapting downward, shrinking expectations to keep stability. Stability built on avoidance isn't stability. It's erosion. The next morning, she left early. No coffee text. No updates. I didn't chase. I went to work, met deadlines, lived my day. Control returned in small, ordinary ways. At lunch, my phone vibrated. A message from an unknown number. This is Calder's wife. Thank you. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. The truth has its own momentum. When Maribel came home that evening, her posture was different. She said Calder had blocked her. His wife had seen everything. Consequences had arrived without my involvement. We talked for hours, not arguing. Accounting. What was broken? What could be rebuilt? I told her trust doesn't reset because tears fall. It rebuilds through consistency. She nodded. Whether she understood remained to be seen. I'm not telling this because it ended perfectly. It didn't. We're in counseling. Some days feel hopeful. Some don't. But I learned something essential. Calm isn't weakness. Precision isn't cruelty. When you stop performing patience for someone who's hiding, clarity feels like power. That text wasn't clever. It wasn't revenge. It was a line drawn where silence used to be. And for the first time in a long while, I slept knowing I hadn't betrayed myself to keep someone else comfortable. In the weeks since, I've noticed how quickly narratives form when truth is inconvenient. Friends ask if I overreacted. I answer simply, boundaries aren't reactions, they're definitions. I didn't snoop. I didn't spy. I responded to what was placed in front of me. There's a difference between suspicion and observation, and I finally respected it. Mirabelle is trying. I acknowledge effort without grading it on a curve. Trust isn't rebuilt with grand gestures. It's rebuilt when explanations stop sounding like strategies. When phones stay face up. When names replace euphemisms. When presence returns without being prompted. Whatever happens next, I won't negotiate my clarity away again. Coffee can be innocent. Friends can exist. But secrecy changes the math. I won't pretend otherwise to appear reasonable. Reasonable is knowing your worth and acting accordingly. Calmly. Completely. Without apology. That lesson, learned quietly, will shape every decision I make from here.